Cape Fear Episode 9 completely reshaped the story, heading into the finale. For the first time all season, viewers finally learned the truth behind the murder that sent Max Cady to prison, discovered Luke's real identity, and watched every major character move toward what feels like one unavoidable final confrontation. The finale now has several enormous questions to answer. Can the Bowden family survive? What does Max Cady actually want? Will Luke choose the family that raised him, or the father he has only just discovered? And perhaps the biggest question of all, will anyone actually stop Max before he destroys everything left in his path? Let's break down the biggest predictions for the Season 1 finale. The ending of Episode 9 leaves Anna in the most dangerous position she has faced all season. After escaping Crystal's boat despite being stabbed through the hand, she now possesses the truth about everything. She knows Crystal murdered Melissa. She knows Max was wrongly imprisoned for that crime. Most importantly, she knows Luke is Max's biological son. That information changes the entire story because Luke has spent his entire life believing something completely different. If Anna can reach him before Max does, Luke's entire understanding of his family could collapse. Whether he accepts the truth immediately is another matter entirely. Learning that your biological father is one of the most dangerous men imaginable would shake anyone's identity. Luke now becomes one of the most unpredictable characters in the story. He could reject Max completely after learning about the abuse, manipulation, and violence that destroyed so many lives. On the other hand, Max may attempt to convince Luke that everything terrible happened because the world betrayed him. Considering Max's extraordinary talent for psychological manipulation, it would not be surprising if he tried to recruit Luke rather than eliminate him. That could become the emotional heart of the finale. Not a battle of physical strength, but a battle for Luke's loyalty. Meanwhile, Max finally arrives at Crystal's boat just as everything begins falling apart. For most of the season, Max has always seemed several steps ahead of everyone else. Now, for perhaps the first time, events are slipping beyond his control. Anna has escaped. Luke knows the truth. Crystal has become increasingly unstable. Every carefully protected secret is starting to unravel. That makes Max even more dangerous because he has nothing left to hide. Another storyline approaching its breaking point involves Tom Bowden. The psychological pressure Max has placed on him throughout the season has been relentless. Inside his jail cell, Tom received one final message: a noose made from bedsheets. Max's instructions were brutally simple. If Tom wants his children to survive, he should take his own life. This is exactly the kind of manipulation Max enjoys. Rather than killing Tom himself, he wants Tom to believe there is no other option. The finale will almost certainly revisit this storyline. One possibility is that Tom genuinely attempts suicide after believing he has completely failed his family. That would represent Max's ultimate psychological victory. However, there is another possibility. Natalie now possesses something that could change everything. During her confrontation with Nevaeh, she secretly stole the burner phone that connected Nevaeh directly to Max. That phone may contain call records, messages, or other evidence exposing the entire conspiracy. If Natalie reaches investigators in time, Tom could finally learn that Max manipulated every step of the nightmare surrounding his family. That hope may be enough to stop him from making a tragic decision. Of course, nothing involving Max is ever straightforward. There is every possibility that the burner phone itself becomes another trap. Max has repeatedly demonstrated that he thinks several moves ahead. Perhaps he anticipated Natalie taking it. Perhaps the device contains false information designed to mislead investigators. Or perhaps Nevaeh herself has already become expendable. Throughout the season, Max has treated nearly everyone around him as disposable once they stop being useful. If sacrificing Nevaeh protects his larger plan, he would almost certainly do it without hesitation. Natalie and Noah may also become an important team during the finale. Both women have survived direct encounters with Max. Both understand how dangerous he truly is. And now both possess different pieces of the puzzle. Working together, they may finally expose the network Max built around himself. Their biggest challenge will simply be staying alive long enough to do it. Perhaps the most fascinating mystery still remaining is Max's true objective. Earlier in the season, revenge appeared to be the obvious answer. He blamed the Bowden family for everything that happened to him. Episode 9 changes that completely. Viewers now know Max did not murder Melissa. Crystal committed that crime. That revelation removes the foundation of his supposed revenge. So why continue terrorizing the Bowdens? The answer may be much darker. Max no longer seems motivated by justice. Instead, he appears driven by control. Every move he makes is designed to dominate the people around him emotionally. He wants fear. He wants obedience. He wants complete psychological victory. Destroying the Bowden family has become less about punishment and more about proving that nobody can escape him. Another possibility involves Luke. Now that Max knows his biological son is alive, perhaps reclaiming Luke has become his new obsession. He may believe Luke represents the family he lost years earlier. If so, everyone standing between Max and Luke immediately becomes an obstacle. That would place Anna directly in Max's path because she is now the person carrying the truth that could separate father and son forever. The flash drive Anna recovered may also become one of the finale's most important pieces of evidence. According to Crystal, it contains recordings showing Max manipulating Amy Brancato into taking her own life. If those recordings are genuine, they expose another side of Max's cruelty. Not just physical violence, but psychological abuse capable of pushing vulnerable people toward death. The challenge, however, is obvious. Evidence means nothing if Anna cannot safely deliver it to the authorities. With Max actively hunting her, simply surviving may become impossible. As for Zach, there are still unanswered questions. His escape from the psychiatric facility happened suspiciously quickly after Max contacted Tom. That timing suggests Max had planned the entire operation in advance. It raises the possibility that Zach has never truly been free. Perhaps Max intended to use him as leverage all along. If that proves true, Zach's eventual rescue could become one of the finale's biggest emotional moments. Looking at all the remaining storylines together, it feels inevitable that nearly every surviving character will end up in the same place. Whether that final confrontation happens at the Cady property or aboard Crystal's boat remains uncertain. Either location would provide the perfect setting for every secret to explode into the open. The finale also feels likely to include at least one major death. The series has steadily increased both the emotional stakes and the level of violence throughout the season. Ending without significant consequences would feel surprisingly restrained compared to everything that came before. Tom remains one of the characters in greatest danger. His emotional state has never been worse. Crystal has become increasingly unstable. Nevaeh may no longer be useful to Max. Even Luke now stands in the middle of an impossible family conflict. When it comes to Max himself, several outcomes seem possible. He could die during a final confrontation after his manipulations finally fail. He could be arrested once the evidence against him becomes overwhelming. Or, staying true to the series' unpredictable tone, he could escape entirely after leaving behind one last devastating act of violence. There is also the possibility that Luke ultimately decides Max's fate. After learning the truth about his parentage, Luke may become the only person capable of reaching him. If Max refuses to stop, Luke may be forced to make an impossible choice between protecting innocent people and preserving the father he has only just found. That would complete one of the season's strongest emotional arcs. Whatever direction the finale chooses, Episode 9 has successfully transformed Cape Fear from a mystery into a story about consequences. Every lie has been exposed. Every secret is coming to light. Every relationship has been shattered. Now only one question remains. When the dust finally settles, who will still be standing? One prediction feels safe above all others. The final episode will not simply be about defeating Max Cady. It will be about proving whether anyone can truly escape the damage he has spent an entire season creating.